Hello, friends, welcome to yet another episode of the Mental Health Show. I hope you caught the last episode where we talked about depression, the challenges, and we even suggested remedies. But if you didn't, you can go back and watch. Today, we are going to talk about another disorder, which is called panic attacks. Panic attacks have affected over 30% of the young people in Uganda, even when they don't know. They think they have heart attacks. They think they have other health disorders, but then it is their panic attacks. What are they? Today, we are going to find out. How can I solve my challenge of panic attacks? We are going to give you some of the remedies. Today, I'm hosting a very, very exciting person, and she's going to introduce herself. I'm going to introduce her. She's going to introduce herself, and she's going to tell us what panic attacks are. She's going to share with us some remedies. She's even going to tell me if she has had panic attacks. Yeah, you know I love to host. Listen, I love a good story. So today she's going to tell us if she has gone through panic attacks, what her story is, how she overcame it. So that maybe we can also, pick a branch or two. So you're welcome.
Thank you, Edna.
Hello.
So my name is Agnes Mwagawa. Yeah, I'm done. Recently got done with my bachelor in laws at Uganda Christian University, waiting for the back course.
A whole lawyer, guys.
So I'm going to go straight into what panic attacks are, what it is, the symptoms, the causes, and how you can overcome it. Basically, panic attacks is a sudden episode, a strong episode of fear that you experience. But what we should notice is this episode is you perceive a threat, you perceive danger, but this is imaginary danger. It's actually not there. There's no immediate danger. You're thinking about it, but it's not there. It can be because of maybe going to a place, and you feel like I'm going to be raped, I'm going to be kidnapped. So you start panicking, body shaking, or it could be a presentation. Just to rush back a little, personally for class, just presentations, I'd be so confused, I'd be shaking. And then it'll get to a point where I'm so much in my head that I forget what I was going to present.
You have talked about presentation, and I'm just curious because we, at other courses are hard. I'm not saying law is the hardest, but it seems the rate at which lawyers have a higher chance of getting panic attacks than other people. Why is that?
I can't say low most especially, but maybe because first of all the course is actually hard. Two, you'll be faced with lecturers that are educated. They know what they're saying, they know what you're saying, so you feel intimidated because you feel like, oh, maybe I'm saying nonsense, I'm saying things that are wrong, I'm not saying facts. So you already have that intimidation. You're looking at your classmates, there are people that are bright, everyone is bright, but those that are brighter than the others, so you're scared.
You kind of compare
sometimes
yourself.
Exactly, you feel like I've not made enough research. So that was one of the things I would face, but for me, most especially, it would be the fear of standing in front of so many people.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'd be thinking, what am I saying? Am I standing the right way? Is something wrong with my body? Am I dressed correctly?
True.
So that would really get to me. Then I'd be like, you're discussing, and then you stare into people, and someone is looking at you so intensely, and you're like, am I making sense?
You know. Yeah. So our viewers today, I know that sometimes maybe you might have faced a challenge of you have a presentation or you have to be somewhere, and then you're like standing in front of a lot of people, and then you have to shake, and then you think about, oh my God, or even having the most immediate thing, having to enter a room, a church, those village churches where you enter and everybody's standing and looking at you. And then you start imagining, are they looking at how I'm dressed, how I'm walking? The very irrelevant things. People are generally just looking at someone passing. They're not paying attention to your dress. So I felt like I was relating to your story personally when you said, the fear of, are they looking at me? Yeah, so how did you overcome that? Because I know it's a very common thing.
How did I overcome it? I started off with at first when I would get butterflies and then my hands would be sweating and I'm shaking sometimes. I feel like I'm running out of breath. So to get peace of mind, the very first thing that I did was go for a medical checkup to make sure I didn't have blood pressure. Trust. It was
it was.
it was that intense. It was like I have to be dying. I have to be dying. I can't feel this way. So I did go for a medical checkup, and I would encourage anyone who is feeling the same way to do, because sometimes we might not think it is a medical issue, yet it can be. So I did go for that, but of course I wasn't sick. So that made me calm down a lot more, very much. I started having positive affirmations to myself. If I'm entering a room, if it's going to class, a presentation, I'll tell myself, I have this, I got this. Like, I put like an imaginary wall around myself, and I'm like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm in the room alone, so let me do this, let me get this done with. I'm okay, I'm overthinking this.
So she talked about daily affirmations, affirming yourself, telling yourself, you got this, I am better than this. They are not looking at me. They're not even paying attention to me. I am like, those are very, very good. Like you have to tell yourself in the morning, like a prayer. You know how you pray to God, dear God. In the morning, I think if you can tell yourself, I got this. I got this day. This day is going to be amazing. Then maybe these panic attacks will be reduced. Are there any other things you tried out to help you out?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was more of a realization that panic attacks don't kill you. The first few episodes I had, I'd think, okay, so I'm going to fall, I'm going to move out, I'm going to embarrass myself.
Yeah.
Then after reading about them, after researching, I realized it's a phase. It comes over you and it goes. Nothing is going to happen. So the more you realize that nothing is going to happen, the more peace you get, because it's going to pass. Then another thing I did and do sometimes, and I still get them, I do breathing exercises. You can show us. Breathe in. You breathe in and out. Breathe in. Exactly. So people think I'm meditating, but I'm collecting my peace. Then distractions too help me overcome episodes of panic attacks. So I like food. So if I'm in such a situation of I'll have a presentation or I'm entering a room or like chat, like you said, and I'm scared, I'll be thinking to myself, you know what, I'll distract my mind and be like, I'm going to have nice food after this, so it's worth it. Like, get done with this, get over this, I'm going to be okay. And it has helped. It has actually helped.
Amazing. All your food is out there. What you can do, you've got the solution. Yeah, you've got the solution. You reward yourself with food when you when you don't have those panic attacks. So, our dear viewers, as you have heard, this is Agnes. She has actually experienced panic attacks, and she's trying to tell us how she overcame these panic attacks. It's all in your mind. This is what I'm getting. It's all in your mind. The moment you get out of your mind, then you're good to go. Get out of your mind and go into a place of peace and go into a place of affirmation of I can do this. And then reward yourself with food. Only when you're a foodie. But if you're like a shopaholic, you can reward yourself with a shopping spree.
Nice dress, a nice shirt.
Okay. So, you talked about panic attacks when you when you go out and you're in a place you feel like, oh my God, it's a place of danger. And then you start to build up scenarios of maybe you getting raped, you may be falling down, the worst
possible scenarios.
So I'm particularly interested in the part of when you're in a dangerous place and you think, in a place where you're starting to imagine danger, like rape, how did you, or if you experience it, or how do you think somebody can get out of that place in their mind of this place I'm in is dangerous, even when it's not dangerous really, but they've built danger in their mind? How do we do that?
If it's, let's say, a party, maybe you've gone out with your friends at a party, and okay, people are having fun, you're having fun, but while all this is happening, at the back of your mind, you're thinking, I could be raped, someone could poison my drink.
Like poison,
spike my drink. Analyze the situation around you. Are you with your friends? Are you with people you know? If you're with people you know, do you trust them? If you feel like I can trust these people, then, maintain calm. Know that nothing is going to happen to me. If you have a friend you can trust, a good friend, talk to them, because talking to someone else will help you calm down. For like my class presentations, whenever I get so scared, I'll tell someone next to me and I'm like, I'm so scared, I'm panicking. We're like, calm down, like we'll be done in 5 minutes. This is going to get done.
Yeah.
So you can talk to a friend. But if you feel like it's a situation where maybe your friends are not around, maybe you don't trust the people around, and you can feel this, sometimes it can be a gut feeling. Leave the party. If it's too late, call someone to pick you, because sometimes it can be a panic attack or it could be a gut feeling. So it's up to you to differentiate the two depending on which surroundings you're in. If you can't trust the people around you, then leave.
Yeah. Okay. Another thing I have to ask about is when I first read about panic attacks, or even saw the word panic attacks, the first thing that came to my mind was heart attacks. Is it like the same thing? Do you like get your heart pumping? Do you get shortness of breath? Is it the same thing? Are you like faint?
Have you felt butterflies in your stomach? When you're in love. No.
I don't know if I've been in love before.
So for me, it would be like butterflies, but not the good kind, not the kind of love. I feel there's no. It would feel like my tummy is churning. It's turning. Yeah. Then my hands would sweat so much. I'll be so sweaty.
Yeah, those are like signs you can look out for.
Then I'd get a gut feeling, like not a gut feeling. I feel like something is choking me. At times I'd run out of breath, and I'm like, what is happening? But you have to keep in mind that the symptoms I've stated, the symptoms I've experienced may not be the same you're going through. Our bodies have different biological makeup, so what I go through can be yours, but you can realize. You can realize that this is not a heart attack. If it is a heart attack, I believe you can die. And that is one thing with panic attacks, you can't die.
Absolutely.
You feel like, you're going to die, but you can't die. It's going to come and go.
It's like for a short period of time. So our viewers today, I think you have seen, first of all, it's different symptoms for everybody. She might have shortness of breath, she might have had sweaty palms, but yours might be different, Maybe you shake and maybe your voice, have you like had people speaking and their voices are shaky? Please know that person maybe a few seconds ago, a few minutes ago, they had a panic attack, and maybe was even second thinking like, let me not do this. But then they overcame that. And I want to tell you guys that there is no other feeling of satisfaction than feeling like you have beaten this and you've gone above all those symptoms and actually done what you're supposed to do, okay? I think another thing I picked from her story is you have to surround yourself with positive people. You have to have friends who are going to tell you, you're this, you're strong, you can beat this. You're a superwoman, you're a superman, we look up to you. People are going to have to speak life into you. Not those people now look at the dress, look at that shoe. You've not made enough preparation, you've missed a full stop. Or people are going to criticize you. I'm not saying people who criticize you are bad. But what I'm saying is that when you oversurround yourself with such people, they build those kind of panic attacks. I think I get it from her story where she said in her mind, the lecturers are perfect, I've never done a mistake. And so she feels like she didn't want to make any mistake. And I think if you surround yourself so much with such people, then you're bound to get panic attacks. As a person who has gone through this, and maybe, I don't know if you still go through it?
Really?
You now manage.
Really. On my way here, as I thought about it, my heart was starting to race. Then I was like, why am I scared? Like, this is Edda.
This is me.
This is Edda. Why am I scared? This is something I know.
This is someone I know, yeah.
So, no.
Okay, so I find that people who have gone through such mental disorders, panic attacks, depression, anxiety, they have like developed coping mechanisms. And sometimes, very often, they want to share with their neighbor. They want to help someone in that space. Are there any ways you're like helping people around you? Do you have any initiative that you have?
I do have an initiative. We started with 2 other girls. One is called Bree, and another called Deborah. We started it last lockdown when people were locked up in their homes. People were going through different forms of mental illnesses. So we started a WhatsApp group called Mental Health for Women, and it has over 200 girls on board now.
Amazing.
So what we did then, we used to, every Friday, we used to host speakers, motivators. We actually had Tracy Kavavito once. So by these people talking to these girls, their lives were made easy. We encourage the girls to share their stories, what they were going through, be it depression, be it panic attacks, be it anything they're going through. So this helps people realize that they're not going through this alone.
Yeah.
It gives them to realize I'm not going through this alone. I can talk to people. And then we have this thing where I think you've seen the anonymous messages on WhatsApp. So we create a link for those who don't want to. I don't want to share my story and people know it's me. We give them the link. We send it to the group. So someone will tap it, share their story, and we encourage the girls in the group too to offer advice. Then we also have an Instagram page for it called For Body, For Mind, For Soul. It does the same thing. If you have an issue, you can DM anytime.
I think I follow that page. Anything for mental health. I think if you check my Instagram, the most followed pages are mental health.
Is key, actually. People go through
a lot. Oh, that's good. That's amazing. To be able to experience it is one thing, but to help someone, like imagine you're in a swimming competition and maybe you used to drown at the deep end and then you see someone drowning. It's like helping, offering your hand. That's the feeling that you give someone when every time you hold their hand as they face these mental challenges. That's the feeling they get of someone is helping me out from this drowning position. I can now breathe. Mental health challenges, the ones I've experienced personally, the moment I hear that someone else has faced it and has beat it, it's motivation enough for me that this is not the end of the tunnel. This is not the end of the tunnel. I'm going to come out of it. I am absolutely going to come out of it. I want to listen to how did they come out. Maybe I could pick a leaf. So thank you very much. Thank you for not being ashamed and sharing your story. People actually find these things shameful.
That's actually something I wanted to note. You find it hard for some people to open up because they feel like they'll be stigmatized. They feel like people won't understand. Some people feel like people will feel like the whole thing that they're pretending, which is not true. About 35% of adults in face mental health suffer with it. So you can share with someone. Most times it's better to share with a stranger, and that is why I talked about our Instagram page. So don't die in your little box. Speak to someone and they'll understand.
Although I have that's true. I have a question. How about if the tables like turn? If the tables turn and you are stable, like you don't get panic attacks, and you have somebody, a friend, what advice do you have for a friend that has a friend that goes through panic attacks and they want to help them? How can they help them?
A friend of mine that has a friend.
No, a friend of yours who has panic attacks.
A friend of mine, I would, if they can.
No, you are a friend. I'm just saying, let's say you go through panic attacks. What advice would you give me to give you? How can I help my friend who has panic attacks?
Okay. Every morning when you wake up, send me affirmation messages.
Amazing.
Tell me you're strong, you're beautiful, like you got this. Send me, you've seen Instagram reels, Instagram stories that talk about different people overcoming panic attacks. Send them to me. Check on me. Most people want to feel like they're loved, feel like they matter. So check on me.
What shouldn't I do?
don't try to put me down. Don't try to make me feel like I'm lying or pretending.
Yeah.
Then you've seen people who you're talking to about your issue, and then they start telling you about their own.
Absolutely.
So listen, basically.
Yeah.
Listen to what I have to say. Then maybe at the end you can tell me, but not, I'm telling you, oh, so I have a presentation, I'm so scared, what should I do? And you're telling me, I have work, I'm also
busy.
scared. Like, you want someone to listen to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true. Don't downplay people's situations. Don't look like you're too busy to listen to your friend. Be there for your friends, check on them, and be the source of positive energy. It's so easy, by the way. If you just practice it for some time, it's really so easy. So thank you very much, our viewers, for watching, and thank you, Aggie, for coming to share your story. And I hope you have picked a thing or two: how to handle panic attacks, how to be a friend to someone who has panic attacks, how to be positive, how to have positive energy. It's very, I'm all for positive energy, so how to be positive vibes for everybody, yeah? What advice do you give to someone, one of our viewers, they are watching at the comfort of their bed or their phone, maybe even under the blankets? What advice do you give to a young person having panic attacks, or even someone who's not young, yeah?
Could be someone old.
Someone old, what would you tell them?
If you have a trusted person, you can't just tell everyone what you're going through. If you have a trusted person, my trusted person is my mom, who took so long to come on board to understand mental health, by the way. But she finally did. So if you have a trusted person you can talk to, it could be your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your parents, anyone. Talk to them. Tell them, when I'm faced with these kind of situations, when I have to go to school, when I have to go to work, I have this intense fear. Share with them what you go through.
Sure.
And you never know, this person could help you understand what you're going through, help you overcome it. Then back, I'm really heavy on affirmations.
Yeah.
You are what you tell yourself. Tell yourself, I've got this. I'm smart. I'm wise. I can do this. Like, this is something small. Another thing you can do is don't compare yourself to people, especially with social media. People do share a lot. You don't know the backstory to it.
True.
Comparison is a thief of joy. So try to stay within your lane. The things that make you happy. What makes someone happy won't make you happy.
True.
So find peace, find happiness in the little things.
That you
Little or big. It could have big. Find joy in yourself instead of seeking it from anywhere else.
True. Thank you very much for watching. Catch us every Friday at 5 p.m. on our YouTube and Facebook platforms. Follow us on all our social media platforms, which are at Faraja Television. And till next time, bye. I hope you caught the last episode where we were talking about depression, right? Done this, I'm okay, I'm overthinking this. Another thing that I did was... It's okay, let's just don't cut it out.
Faraja TV, authentic African voices.